Welcome. Um, in this video, I am going to model for you how I would do the supplementary exercise 1-8, the cable spool. So looking at this, you can there are several ways to do this. I can think of three, and I will do all three of them. The book tells you to make a sketch, the profile and front plane, and do a base revolve, and that was one of the methods that I would do, and actually that's the one I would do because that would be the easiest one to do. So we'll do that one. We'll do that one first. Okay, so we start off with finding our mouse. There's our mouse. We'll start off by starting a new part, and we'll take our front plane and we're going to do a revolve. Give it an axis of rotation, and then do some lines. So we're going to have our center hole, bottom flange, center tube, top flange. Okay, and then we're done with the drawings. We'll hit the escape. I like to make sure that all of my sketches are fully defined. That means they are all black. If they're blue, then that means if you try to make any kind of modification to it, you can't, because there's no definition to it. You define them with dimensions or with mates. There is a video on Canvas that I go through the various different ways to fully define sketches. Okay, so the each square in the grid, it represents 1 inch, and so the top and the bottom flanges are the same, so we'll select those two and make them equal and give them a dimension of 1. Okay, the overall length of our spool is 7 inches, so we'll give that a 7. And then if you select the center line and then a diameter and go to the other side, it'll let you do diameters. That's got a 3, 4, and 8-inch diameter. The inside tube has a 4-inch diameter. The inside tube has a 2-inch diameter. Okay, so there it is. Oh wait, hey, this one's not right. We made them equal, but we should have also made them collinear. That way when one changes, the other changes. Now if you'll notice, every one of our sketch lines are black. That's because they are fully defined, mostly in this case with dimensions. So now that it's done, we close our sketch window and it automatically goes into the revolve mode. We want to go to around 360 degrees and say OK, and there we have our cable spool. So that's one way to do it. So we'll save this one as a document. Where's my grading file? There it is. Don't have. Okay, I don't know where my folder went. Oh, there it is. See, I know I had one in there. So this is cable spool revolve. Okay, so that's the way the book suggested to do it, and that's the way I would do it if I was doing this at my office. Another method to do this would be to do a few boss extrusions. So we're going to start at the top, do an extrusion, do a center, and I'm going to put that right over the center of the origin, and you see the little yellow square with 2 circles tells me that it just connected right to that and automatically mated it to the origin. So the outside diameter is 4, inside diameter is 2, and then we want to extrude that by closing the screen. We're going to come down here and this isn't okay. Midplane. There we go. That way it extrudes from both directions, and again that was 7 inches, I believe. So there's our cylinder. I guess there are more ways. So let's we need to do a flange. So we'll do another boss extrude on that surface, and we'll grab that circle because we want to pull that edge out as one of our sketches. And then we need to do the outside diameter, which has a dimension of 8 inches. And close that sketch. It brings up the boss extrude. Now it's going the wrong way, so we turn it the other way, but we only want to go 1 inch. Now there's a couple ways to get the other flange on. We could come down here and do another extrude, and if we want to make sure that it stays the same, if we ever change that diameter, we'll pull that entity off. And we also want to get this one here so that we're just doing the flange. I just selected that edge and come up here and pull the convert entities, and then you close the sketch. It's going the wrong way, flip it the right way, and there's our flanges. Now if you change this diameter here, because we pulled that dimension off that, or the sketch off of the top one, it changes with it. Another way to have done this would have been to come onto the top plane and mirror. And what do we want to mirror? We want to mirror that. And select OK. And there's your spool. And again, if you change this dimension, because it's mirrored, it will automatically change the bottom one too. Okay, so let's save this one as a cable spool extrude. Okay, and then one last way that I will demonstrate to do this, we'll pull up another part, would be with a revolve cut. So we're going to start with a boss extrude. It's going to look similar to the last one, only this time we're going to, instead of doing the tube, we're going to come to the outside diameter of our flange, 8 inches. The inside hole is 2 inches. And close the sketch. We're going to do a mid plane and make it 7 inches. And that defaulted to 7.5. We'll go back and check that. So that should be 7 inches. I think I may have done the last one at 7.5. Okay, so now we got the flange and the tube, so now we just need to cut away the portion leaving the inner diameter. So if we pull that up, go to the front plane, come to the revolve cut, put a center line of rotation, and I want that to be on the center, and then do a corner. Okay, and then to limit the number of dimensions, I'm going to take a center line, because I want my flanges equal, and draw a center line from center of this line to the origin. But if I make this horizontal, these are now symmetric about the center line. So when I come up here and do a 1-inch dimension here, we also have 1-inch dimension down there. Come and pull this off here, and this should be 40 inches. Whoa, dude, that's a little excessive. There we go. So there we have it. Now we're done. Close the sketch. Calls up the axis cut. We want to go around 360 degrees, but because there's more than one center line, it doesn't know which one to revolve around. So with that box selected, you'll come down here and select this one, say that's one we want to rotate about, and there's our spool. Any of these are valid methods. I guess it depends on how much you want to be able to adjust it in your design, if you need to come back and modify as to which one you do. So now let's go back and see if I messed up my dimension here on this. No, that's 7 inches. And that was 7 inches. Okay, cool. So anyway, that's how I would model those. If you got any questions, please let me know. Thanks.